Hello, JLC. This is the Outdoorable Living Show. Today, I am with my good friend Jim Gaudette of Northeast Deck, and you have another company. What's the name of this other company you got going on?
Black Barn Contracting out of New Hampshire.
Black Barn Contracting. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about you, who you are, where you're from, what you do.
All right. Well, I've basically been in building for over 20 years, and I niched down last year by coming to JLC.
Yeah.
And getting to meet great people like you and Kevin. And it's been a wild ride, between JLC, Deck Expo, and IBS all in 1 year, and then back here where it all started.
Right? It's pretty crazy.
To see how the industry has grown and how much I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's an awesome place, and the people are great.
Yeah. It's funny, and a lot of people have been in the industry for a very long time and think they know everything, and you come to a place like this and you see all these new products and all these new, this is how you do this and this is how you do that. It's completely different than what you thought.
Oh, absolutely. It's like almost being like in a cave and then coming out and then seeing like the whole new world and all the new things coming to the market, and then basically just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. So you just went through a pretty big change in life, yeah?
Slightly.
Tell me about that.
So I was in law enforcement for 20 years, and I worked at night, and then I always did construction during the day. So sleep was not my friend.
Yeah.
But now being able to single focus just on building and family and, meeting new people and just getting better at doing everything. The hardest thing is just not coming backwards. Once I do metal, why would I do anything else?
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing that I've been transitioning from.
Right. I guess it wasn't as big of a transition for you since you've been doing construction for so long,
right.
But that there had to be some type of a little bit of trepidation and a little bit of worry just completely stepping out into that, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was, basically this time last year that I said I'm just going to do outdoor living.
Yeah.
And somehow it worked out. I have no idea how it did, but I just keep going with it.
Right.
And, with the great support of, the outdoor industry, yourself, Kevin and Cody at Raven, they've been instrumental to me growing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. To be better.
It's a big thing of this industry that I love is how willing people are to help each other out. Even people in similar markets who could possibly compete against each other are still willing to help out and help everyone grow the industry.
Absolutely. It's almost like it's not a strange brotherhood, but it basically almost back to law enforcement. We try to make everyone better. And, we get to have fun with each other, but you want to be better every day.
Yeah.
And just have a better product, but also have fun.
Exactly. And with that, you're doing something else that's still kind of law enforcement related, right?
Also, yes.
Tell me about that.
So I basically started Rampart Training Group, which is basically a full service firearms, not sales, but just training. And just helping everyday people get better and more comfortable with the firearms industry. So they don't have, they don't have to be afraid to go to a class and think the G.I. Joe or, fell out of Black Ops. Right? It's just basically letting people, try different products and be comfortable and, enjoy the shooting aspect, and just showing a little bit of discipline goes a long way.
So you have a lot going on there.
I do. But it's, you only here once, so you might as well make the most out of it and try to be better every day. And then, my family's been huge to allow me to do all these wonderful things.
For me, one of the cool things is seeing all this that you have going on. It takes a certain amount of courage and self-confidence to step out into these things, right?
It does.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah, it does. But I surround myself with good people that help, keep me honest or keep me going. Yeah. So it's been a great journey so far.
Yeah. I feel like you have all these new things happening, right? You have 2 new businesses on the construction side. You have this firearm training company that's fairly new, but you also just did your Fortress Steel Frame.
Yes.
The very, very first one, right?
That was a monster.
Yeah.
Probably not the smartest thing to go, but I don't like to do things small, so I just figured, if I can do this, I can do anything. And it was great. The clients are very happy, and I'm just looking forward to my next one.
What did you like most about it? What was your biggest pain point? What do you wish you knew that you learned during the process?
I wish I would have paid more attention to what things were called.
Yeah, that helps.
That definitely helps. But you know, it was scary.
Yeah.
But it was a good scared.
Yeah.
And because like once you use the product, you don't want to use anything else.
Right.
And like once I get to explain and go full deck geek with my clients, like they understand the passion behind it, and you can do anything with it.
Sure.
And I think the biggest thing was learning more protective gear on any type of surfaces for cutting.
Yeah, makes sense.
But other than that, like it was a lot more second guessing because it was only me.
Right.
And making sure that I did things the right way and exactly what it was called for.
So let's touch on that for a second. How big was the project?
600 square feet.
600 square foot, and you did it by yourself.
Yeah.
Start to finish.
Start to finish,
right? And you were what, 8 feet off the ground, 6 feet off the ground, something like that?
Yeah, it was about 8.5 feet, and that was another thing that I didn't really take into consideration when, you know, spanning the beams and everything else, but like just working at that height.
Yeah.
And then seeing how sore you get after driving those screws. But it was, I don't know, it was awesome.
But, you know, I think that kind of speaks to the ease of installation on the system, that you built a 600 square foot deck, 8.5 feet off the ground by yourself.
Over a pool.
Yeah,
that was.
You know, there's a lot of things in that are you might not be able to do with a lot of other systems out there.
No, definitely between the span and the ease of it, like, and everything was dead flat, and like even once I had the ledger up and I had my joist in, like it was unbelievable solid with even out having my final beam on the outside.
So that was your first project, but that wasn't your first time touching the material, right?
No, I was fortunate to come down to the Masterclass, and we got to spend some good time together, which was great. And, you know, got to see, you know, and Kevin's helped me huge with showing me different things that you can do with the product, and there's no limitation.
So how much, if you can, how much do you think attending that Masterclass kind of helped ease your trepidation and bridge the gap before you just kind of went face first into it?
I wouldn't have done it.
You wouldn't have done it?
No, absolutely not. Like without having the Masterclass and showing, you know, the value in it, how to cut it, how to drive screws, you know, what your limitations are, and just, you know, basically get out of the box of conditional framing.
Sure.
And something that new, like it was good to see all the people involved.
And I'm trying to remember, we had something like 52 people from 11 different states there.
It was a big one.
That went all the way to Rhode Island
Yep.
to learn how to install steel framing. For me, that's kind of, the proof is in the pudding, right?
It speaks volumes.
That many people are willing to come from that many different places to learn, you know, I think it's a no-brainer to keep on with this.
Oh, absolutely. It would help tremendously, even just for people just to touch up on it.
Yeah.
You know, just to use, you know, the adjustable stair brackets and the trays and what you can do, what you can't do.
Sure.
How to cut it, how to finish it, you know, and basically just be creative with it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
You know, and part of that and why I love JLC so much is there's so many people come to a show like this that want to learn. Right. They want to know these things that they can add to their business model and how they can improve. You know, I tell people all the time, I've said it many times, JLC is my favorite show of the year. Not only have I made some great friends from this show, like I met you here a year ago, right?
Or the booth was over there, and I was talking to you over there.
It feels like it's been a lot longer than that, but it's only been a year.
It's been a crazy year.
I meet people like Kevin from Raven at shows like this, but JLC is my favorite show because of how many young people there are trying to come up and learn.
Yep.
It's really cool to see.
Oh, it's been awesome. And like, you know, I've been fortunate to go to a couple of different shows and be able to test to see what this was like. Because last year at this time, I literally came here for a couple hours and I was overwhelmed and I was like, this is crazy. And then I went to work. I had to work that night. Yeah. So it was like, to see how much has gone on in this short time is awesome, and see where the industry's going.
Yeah. So you just touched on it, and see where the industry's going. What do you see is next for you? Is there a new product you're trying to try? Is there, you know, something you want to branch out and do that you haven't done before?
I don't know yet. I basically I want to be a fortress snob, and
I love hearing that.
And then basically just eliminate pressure treated because I use the jog tread.
Yeah.
and just eliminate PT off that order because there's no reason to use PT.
Yeah.
But I also want to show the value of what it is, how much the PT versus a Fortress frame would be.
Sure.
But without giving the option of having and getting that.
That's gotta kind of set you apart in your market, because I've got to imagine you're the only one
Yeah.
going to be doing that, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's where I'm trying to get to. So I'd rather stand alone and do 10 cool projects with Fortress and do 20 with PT. Like it just, I don't want to go backwards.
Sure.
It's the hardest thing. And like, but you know, people have budgets but people don't realize what the value is.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to explain to them on my presentation when I go over the deck. And to explain, you know, you're going to put a 25 or 50-year warranty deck on a frame with PT that has no warranty.
No warranty.
So why wouldn't you just do, the little bit more money, a little bit more investment, and do it right once, if you're already spending thousands of dollars?
So what would you say has been the scariest part about going into this outdoor living space solely?
Just afraid of not getting enough work.
Yeah.
Is probably the biggest thing. Or, you know, people use, you know, it's a deck isn't a necessity unless it's an access point.
Right.
You know, so as markets crash or, you know, people run out of money, or it's always scary just to kind of niche down into that one thing to hopefully you find that client that you want to work with, and you want to build that kind of product too. Like I've kind of was a snob. Like I had a previous, last week I had an appointment I went to, and he asked me about PT decking, and I'm like, I don't even want to do a PT frame.
Right.
And like, I'm like trying to be nice about it and explain the cost of it, because a lot of people don't know. And especially in the Northeast, like we're last to the gate.
Yeah.
And people, you know, metal framing, they're like, even the client that took this one was like, they had no idea, but they trusted me.
Sure. And you know, I've talked to a lot of guys that have gone through a similar process, not exactly the same, but similar, and they decided to niche down because that's where their highest profit margins were.
Yeah.
But I also see people that they try to be everything to everyone, and they end up chasing that nut of I need to work, I need to work, I need to work, and then they end up selling themselves short and turn out they're not making a profit on these jobs, right?
Well, I think the best thing about niching down so far is that I know the price a lot better now, rather than like when I took the Fortress, which probably isn't advised to anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know the number.
Yeah. You kind of need to know your numbers.
I winged it completely, but I liked the product that much that I wanted to try it, and it had a great, there was a great area to use it. With between the spans, with the backyard, the pool, everything, it was going to be beautiful. So I'd rather take a little less profit and show people what I can do than that aspect.
Well, now you also have one under your belt, so you have the pictures of it, so it's in your portfolio, so you can show more people, and you'll become more and more efficient every time you do one, right? And that profit margin will start growing because your labor time starts diminishing every time.
Right. I don't have to second guess myself. Right. I know exactly what I need for brackets. I know my ledger, where it's going, and how I'm cutting it in, and everything else that goes in. And then same thing, I was looking at the stair brackets and like watching a video again.
Yeah.
But the adjustable stair brackets were awesome. Like they were right on.
So I know some of this because I talk to you enough, but you have a deck building company, another construction company, and a firearm company. What do you do for you to stay sane?
I run ultra marathons.
Ultra marathons.
I have a tough ruck in 3 weeks.
So some people would think that's crazy.
Oh, it definitely is. I do. I think it's crazy, but it's my quiet time, and I want to see what I can get out of this life.
Yeah.
And why not it gets me into deck shape.
Yeah.
Is that what I call it?
And you know, we talk about this before, but some of that, it gives you the time to fight those mental battles with yourself, and you're pushing past these barriers you put in place on yourself.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely. I agree.
And I would say the average human has no idea what they're capable of because they don't push themselves.
Yep.
Whether it's in business, whether it's in fitness, whether it's their mental space, they don't push themselves, so they have no idea what they can achieve.
Absolutely. And the Ultra has been great for me too, because it's a confidence boost. Like I never ran a marathon, and I went and I did a 50K
That's crazy.
on a win.
That's crazy.
Well, it was basically a test to myself to see if I could do it. And
you did it.
yeah. And then it's just catching more. The same thing with a bigger project. And it's seeing, wow, I did this. What else can I do?
Yes, it absolutely transfers over. I tell people all the time, fitness and exercise and health is so important for your business and your mental health. Because
they go hand in hand.
if you look good, you feel good.
Yep.
If you feel good, you perform good. If you perform good, you get paid good.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
And it all comes together.
It all blends together.
Right.
And it's just, like you said, it's those barriers that you put on yourself.
100%.
And then once you figure out that, you know what, I don't want to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
I want to see how far I can go.
And it, again, it transfers into business, and you have that confidence because you know you can do hard things. Right. Hard things don't scare you. Right? It's like, just get out there and do it.
Right. And the best part about like even ultras, even deck building, like once you've been there, like I did a 50 mile out of this at height, and I was at 32 miles, and I'm like, all right, well, I haven't been here before, but I've went to 32, and I knew it sucked. But yeah, it's gonna suck a little bit more.
Like recently, one of the things I've started adding into my health or fitness routine, I started doing some long form fasting.
Yep.
And it's great. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It will screw with you mentally.
Right.
You think you need to eat so you don't.
No.
The average human can go 21 to 30 days without eating and have no negative physical effects.
That was the big thing. It was a 3-day water fast that I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, because you think, wow, I always got to be eating or drinking coffee, and like just breaking those mental barriers will unlock everything. Yeah. Family, life, it just makes you happy. It at least makes me happy.
Yeah. And then when you face something in the day, you're like, this is nothing. Yeah. Like, why are you freaking out? Right. So what if your railing was 12 hours late? Right. So what if you're going to finish 2 days late?
Yep.
Who cares?
Right. Just get past it.
It's not a big deal.
Right. Just keep going.
Right.
That's all it is.
It's so for me in my life, it gives me a level of calm.
Right.
To be able to do some of these things that people around me are freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
They think the world is ending. They think all of this stuff, and it's just
matters. It doesn't.
Calm down.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And just calm down.
Like I do harder stuff than this every day.
Yep.
This is nothing.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree.
Man, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for doing this.
It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, it is.
I can't wait to see what else happens.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what your future holds because you're doing some big things.
Yeah, this will be an interesting year.
Yeah, for sure.
Take the training wheels off and let's go.
Let's go.
Ready.
All right, JLC Live. This is the Outdoorable Living Show with Jim Gaudette of all of these different companies. I can't even name them all right now.
It's quite a list.
Yeah.
So,
appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Excited for the future.
Can't wait.
Let's see where we go.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.